Welcome back to 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Rich Bodker here with you once again. It's a beautiful week, midway through the week, and we've got a great 2 p.m. lineup here for you right now. And then tonight, How to Rock the Stage. We go live again at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And David Breslow is going to be my guest tonight. And what can you learn from a Hollywood director, producer, writer, someone who's been in the media about precision, about performance, and how can it help your company? We're going to talk about that tonight with David Breslow. You don't want to miss it. We'll be streaming live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right back here on these same channels. So catch us live at 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then, of course, join us for How to Rock the Stage Wednesday night, streaming live at 7 o'clock. But today we are going to get into a very interesting conversation. I've been having some of these with several clients, several people that have reached out for a free consultation. It's a very common question. I don't think I've ever really shared it here at 2 p.m. And it may be something you're dealing with yourself right now. What type of media brand are you building? Or what type of company are you building? Look at it both ways, because a lot of companies now are getting into media. That's why we do this show, and that's what I coach. I coach people on how to level up, utilize media more and more in how they promote, sell, communicate, connect. Just media is powerful, and it's growing in influence, and it's growing in the business world. The business world now is open access like never before to leverage media in new ways. But that's where the question collides. Many people I work with have already had a company going for a while. And all of a sudden they realize, oh, wow, there's podcasting, there's audio material now, there's streaming content now, I can pre-produce courses now, and it goes on and on and on. But that's not what they first intended to build for their company. Their company was brick and mortar. Their company was going to be about this tool, about that apparatus. And they were going to sell, promote, or service people. And now they've stumbled into the wonderful land of media business. So what are you building? I worked with a client yesterday, had a fabulous conversation, and they had several different entities of their business. And we had a great conversation about structure, about the hierarchy, about the idea of I'm building this. This is the main thing that I'm building. I have separate sub areas that are vital to the business, but they are not the overall business brand, image, name. I'm curious for you. Can you relate to that? Have you let the business kind of run and grow itself, and you've added things in and added more in, and you've tried this, or someone on your team, someone on your staff said, hey, this is hot, this is new, we should add this in to our company, so you drop it into the closest, best place it may fit. Are you at a place right now where you're wondering what you're building? For those of us who remember years ago, there was a TV commercial, especially during the Super Bowls, it was out. It was about building your own business. And many of us are like airplane pilots or construction teams on an airplane. We're already flying the plane. We've already taken off. And all of a sudden, we're realizing we're building the plane in motion. We don't have a strategy. We don't have a plan. We've kind of lost control, but we're out there going again. Jan is chiming in today. Welcome, Jan, to see you again. A media brand, children's books right now. Speaking, thinking about dragons, maybe. Ooh, I like dragons. And so she's got the main brand, the main idea herself. But then she's also trying to figure out what else is going on and how does that all fit? What is the hierarchy? What does the organizational chart looks like? And are you a speaker now, Jan? Are you an author that speaks? Are you a speaker that happens to write books? Are you going to have media content that goes with this? You see what I'm saying? It goes on and on and on. And you kind of lose perspective about where you're at, who you are, and what you are actually creating. Take pause for a minute and ask yourself questions, because many entrepreneurs, lone solopreneurs, small businesses do every hat. They wear everything. And depending on what you're being asked of a client, prospective client, you will say something different every time. I do this. I do that. Oh, yes, I can do that. Remember that answer? I can do that. You haven't done it yet, but you know you can. You're trying to make a sale. I understand it. But what are you? Who are you? So Jan's got her head scratching now. Not trying to hurt your brain, Jan, but but the idea is your clarity, your approach to who you are and what you do is so important. So step back and look at what you're building or what you've already got or what you've gotten yourself into. What is your main focus? What is your main identifier? You may be a speaker, but you're not a speaker, but you do speak about your topic, but you're not a speaker. So you don't put on your business card, I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a speaker of blank. You may be an expert, but you speak on that expert thing, but you're not a speaker per se. You might be selling books in Jan's case. She's an author. So she's an author, but she wants to add different layers to it. So does she fall into a media company that does books, or she is a book creator that creates other material? Think of where you got things already set and where they at. And like one of the conversations I had this week, do you have the right things in the right buckets in the right location? Do they make sense when you work and talk with clients? Again, a lot of people are excited about podcasts. You talk about podcasts, the power of leveraging a podcast. That does not mean you're a talk show host, number one. It might mean you're a car mechanic and you fix cars. You love cars, but you do a podcast on cars. See, that would fall underneath your whole, I'm a car person. I fix Ferraris. I'm a Ferrari expert. Oh, and I do have this podcast I do. Oh, I do audiobooks on car repair. But it doesn't mean you're an author. It means, see, what are you really designing? It's very easy to get lost and get pulled different directions, especially you have a creative mind. There's a lot of us have great creative ideas. We want to implement everything we can do, but you would be so spread out, so thinned out. It would be like peanut butter on a piece of bread that really there's no peanut butter there. It just sort of pretends and looks like there's peanut butter there, but you're too spread out. And no one wants to eat a bad peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Nobody does. Need clarification of where you're going. What's your focus? That's right. Those are all the questions you want to start asking yourself. And this is a great time of year to be doing this. Right now is the perfect time to start reflecting on that as we wind into the final phase of 2023. Because new ideas, new programs, and new techniques are going to be popping up. And you've got to decide if they're really what you want to do. That's the question. And will it serve your clients? Reevaluate, as we talked about yesterday a little bit. Do you know your clients' needs today? Are your clients' needs best served by a podcast, by an audiobook, by a white paper? Are they best served by whatever it is you're cooking up right now? People love creating courses and helping people by gaining knowledge, gaining skills. But is that really where you want to spend your energy, your money, and your time? Or is that best left for another company and you stay right where you're at? What are you building? Does everyone know you're building that? Can they claim and know this is what X, Y, Z, you and I are building? Can they say without a doubt, I know your brand purpose, and your brand purpose sticks because that's what you do, and you do that so incredibly well? Or will they go, well, let's think about this. And I've worked with companies like that. I've sat around the executive tables where we will do a year review or an annual review, and CEO or someone in leadership says, so what's our mission statement? Well, everyone rattles that off. What's our brand promise to our customers? Less and less of us know that one. And what's the best thing we can do to serve our people? Well, then you have 20 different answers because everyone in their own department has different ideas what's best for the customer. You see what happens when you don't know what you're building, when you don't know what your results are going to be? Jan, you're right. When you have that creative mind, it never stops. And that's why you have to protect yourself from chasing rabbits. You have to protect yourself from buying that new shiny object that really is not going to help you keep it clear and sharp. We all get junk mail. We all get email. It's this next course, the next program. I can bring you 50 new customers this month. Okay, we all get them. But do you click on all of them or do you delete them? How many of these free trial offers do you click on and go get? Because again, you're going to keep chasing. And one week you're going to be a media company focused on media. Next minute, you're going to be a teacher. Here's another question to ask yourself. Are you a coach or a consultant, or are you a business person? Because if you're a coach, you're going to get in there and make a long-term investment in your client. You are going to coach them up, build them up, tear them apart, put them back together, much like the military does. They're coaching you up, or like a football coach does. They are in the trenches with you as much as they can. If you're a consultant, you're more like a guy or a gal, an expert that comes in and you focus on a trouble. You coach them through a trouble, but then you leave them alone and say, I'm here, I'm on retainer. If you need me to come in and work with your team or do another presentation or sit down with your board, you bring me in, but you're not an ongoing coach. What are you? Are you neither of those things and you don't want to be those things? Well, then make it very clear. This is what I am, and this is what our company is. Here's what we will do. And perhaps make a list of what you won't do. Tell your team, tell your staff, these are all great ideas, but these are things we're not going to go after. So Jan is coming back again. She wants to mainly be a speaker, the voice for the voiceless, traumatic brain injury and stroke. So Jan has been doing author work. She's been in that field, but she wants to flip it. So Jan, that's the great identifier of now you want to talk and present, learn more about speaking, get speaking opportunities, and tell people, hey, I'm a speaker. Oh, and I happen to write books about blank, blank, blank. But you're not an author, you're a speaker. Clarify where you're at with your people. This is painful sometimes, especially if you have vision drift or service drift, and you find yourself out in the weeds further than you ever thought, and you stop and you realize and go, wait, my company's back here and I'm way out here somehow. How did I get here? That's a painful place to be, because then you have to dial things back, shut them down, re-clarify, refocus the brain. It can be done, but it's better to know what you're building. Have an organizational chart. Have a statement of, here's what I am. I am a media guy through and through. You hear me every day talk about media, 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 media. Now, media, again, like I said at the beginning, is invading business. It's becoming a big part of everyone's business. But that doesn't mean your business is a media business. It's your business uses media to be the business you are. I'm there to help you grow that brand, create that brand, and get the messaging out there. But I'm not going to run your business for you. Coach or consulting. Jan's really taking good notes here. Coach or consulting? She says consulting. Also, when you want to think about these things, there are potential legal ramifications. Sometimes consultants, you get away with a lot more because you're just consulting. But if you get into coaching, especially if you're in the medical field or legal field, you easily fall into other legal traps sometimes that you can speak on, you can't speak on, you can't coach on, you can't learn where you should be. And again, that's going to help you determine what you're building. Because what you're building is going to help you decide what I say yes to and what you say no to. And you don't want to accidentally say yes to something and find out you crossed some legal line that you have no business being in, and you didn't even know you were out there in that. And then what are you going to do with the media side of it? How much of a big part of the media? Is it a side part? Is it a major part? Are you going to really use media to elevate your expertise as that go-to expert that we talk about at Rock the Stage Media? You can be a go-to expert. Stand out in that crowd, build your brand, build your company on that, and you can leverage media all day long, every which way. But that does not mean you're the new NBC or the new Fox. It just means you're leveraging media with what you're doing. So What's your plan? What are you going to do? How are you looking at where you're at? Have you found yourself waking up saying, I don't know what my company is right now. I don't know where we're going. Perfect time to take a break, do a retreat. In fact, when I was in church ministry, one thing we did every year, we took a 3-day getaway retreat for vision and clarity. Took the top leaders away for this very reason that we're talking about. We did not want ministry drift. We don't want to get off the focus of who we are, what we were. So many programs, so many opportunities. People are wanting help and service and love. But what were we going to do? What were we best at? And that yearly retreat helped us all as a team to know where we're going, where was true north, and what we were going to do next. Hey, I hope this is helpful. These are great every day to drop on in at 2 p.m. and share. And by the way, if you have topics, or you have something that you want me to speak on, share some research. If you have a question that's stumping you, hey, drop me a line, rich@richbontrager.net, and let me know your questions, your topic, your themes, and we can better build out shows like this that can help you out. And as we wind down, again, nice to see you, Jordan, dropping in. I see you there, Jordan. Don't worry. Got you, buddy. Jan remembers the KISS that we talked about yesterday. Keep it simple, silly. Hey, that's going to do it for today. I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line. And tonight, don't miss out as Rock the Stage Live returns again. David Breslow. He's a director, a writer, a producer. He's been in media. And he's going to help you with the idea of performance. What does performance have to do with your business? With coming alive, for showing up and achieving what you want to do? Learn from someone who knows media and how it intersects with business, intersects with your life. Join us at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for How to Rock the Stage, right back here on these same stations. Dennis wants to know where I was going with the retreats with people. Upper Minnesota, a lot of bugs, a lot of water, and it was a great time. Thanks for asking, Dennis. That's going to do it for the day on the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. We're going to see you back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. live with the Trigger.